Aloha. Welcome to our Aloha service. We do this once a month where we focus on our culture here in Hawaii. We focus on it more than just once a month, but we recognize that we are here on holy land. We recognize that we are here on land where others have preceded us, and we give thanks and we give back to the community. Maybe you don't know that, but on a regular basis, every month, as well as tithing to Unity Worldwide Ministries and tithing to Unity World Headquarters, we also tithe to some local nonprofit group that is supporting the culture and the aina of Hawaii as a way of demonstrating our desire to give back and acknowledging that we know that we are on holy ground. We know that this is a very sacred space and that we are here to help protect it, help to honor its culture. And so in that spirit, we welcome you here today. I am talking today about got joy. You know, you've heard about got milk or got this or got that. How about got joy? Have you put that on your grocery list? Is that something that you look for each week, each day? What it is that helps you to come alive. We had that reading from Howard Thurman. And Howard Thurman has this beautiful quote about do what makes you come alive. The world needs people who have come alive. When we are really alive, then notice how the world is transforming around us. So you may notice that all the songs today and everything we're doing today is about affirming life. It's about affirming love. It's about affirming joy. Not only because that's unity principles, but because that's universal principles that help us to not only experience a greater quality of life, but to bring that quality of life with others. This last week, I started, and some of you may not know this yet. So I'm working full-time here as senior minister here. Very happy to be here. And I started this week as a part-time hospital chaplain through Pacific Health Ministries, which is a ministry here on the islands that has chaplains that go out to most of the island's hospitals. And I am now contracted with Rehab Hospital of the Pacific. And, you know, it's 82 bed and has people who've had head injuries, stroke, spinal cord injuries, joint replacements that are proving to be problematic or difficult, numerous things. And I have the opportunity to work with people in their recovery process. And it's such a joy to be able to do that. And it's such a joy to help people to find their joy. Because if we can find our joy, then nothing can stop us. As long as you have joy, you have the strength to continue with any situation. And our joy does not depend upon how the outer circumstances look. If that were the case, you might be tempted to not be joyful. Our joy depends on that which is absolute. Our joy depends upon that presence of God within us. Again, that reading from Howard Thurman about finding that source within us, that place of love, and every single one of us has it. So I want to ask you, here's your homework assignment, to think about each day this week. Where's my joy? How's my joy doing? What is it that makes me come alive? Joy is so powerful. It radiates. Have you ever walked into a room where there was not joy and you could just feel the oxygen being sucked from the room? Have you? How many people have ever been in that situation? Have you ever walked into even just the personal presence of someone that was filled with joy and you suddenly began to feel joy yourself? How many have experienced that? So our mission statement, our statement of evolutionary purpose for Unity Church of Hawaii is that centered in God, we are transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in our world. We make a positive difference in our world by our joy. Now, what are some of the things that we can do to help bring about our joy? I wrote down a list of numerous things. One of them is service, seva. One of them is giving to others of our time in some way or other. My mother watches each Sunday. Hi, Mom. Good to see you. They're in Wichita, Kansas. It's in the afternoon there. And my mom will be turning 99 years old in January. And she's doing great. And she does service every day. Every day she's praying for other people. She's praying for us all the time. She ministers to the people who come into her sphere of influence. If you show me a person who doesn't do service for others, you will show me a person in misery. If you show me a person who's committed to service and seva for others, I guarantee there's some joy there. I guarantee it. Because what that does when we serve others is helps to activate that God presence inside of us. You see, every single one of us has the presence of God in us. Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. So when we are serving others, it activates and awakens that love, that presence of God within us. So giving to others, now we need to take care of ourselves too. Don't get me wrong. But giving to others and providing service for others is essential if we are to live a life of joy. Gratitude. Each day, and here's part of the homework assignment too, and if you miss the homework assignment points, just watch this again. It's recorded on YouTube, recorded on Facebook. But gratitude. Every day, I encourage you to look and find things for which you are grateful. Every day. I see little Silas back here. I met Silas today. I memorized the name immediately because I think of Paul and Silas in the Christian scriptures. And I see joy. I see this effervescence. Silas wants to get up and move around. And it brings joy to my spirit. It brings gratitude to my heart. You bring gratitude to me just by being who you are. Each day, I encourage you to find that for which you are grateful. This last September 19th was 1 year anniversary of getting a brand new shoulder. I have a prosthetic shoulder, and it works marvelously. It works better than it ever has in my life. And so I'm so grateful for that. Now, what I haven't told you all was that for most of this last year, this little finger was numb or tingling like it was asleep. You know, when your arm goes asleep or something? That's how this little finger has felt. And while it may seem like such a small thing, last night I could feel Foley in my little finger. What are you grateful for? Can you find things? How many things do you take for granted that if you lost them, suddenly you would notice how important it was to you? Why should we wait until something is taken away from us to be grateful for it? Why not be grateful for it right now? That's what brings us joy. It's our responsibility. It's an inside job. If you do not have joy, you are the one that can find it because it's inside you. Look at the things that you can be thankful for. Do you have a home? Do you have a spot on the sidewalk? Do you have people who love you? Do you have food? Do you have people that you connect with? Do you have enough health to be able to wake up each day? Find what it is to be grateful for. That brings joy. In the book of Nehemiah, which is in the Hebrew Scriptures, the Old Testament, Jerusalem had been destroyed. And people had been taken into exile, and then Jewish people came back to Israel. And Nehemiah was one of these who wanted to help rebuild Jerusalem. And he was helping to lead people to rebuild what had been ruined. And he told them, the joy of the Lord is your strength. When we have joy, we can accomplish anything. I've had the opportunity, when I was in Wichita, Kansas, I was an activist. I would be in marches, and I was part of an organization that got back over $2 million that had been held back by employers. Over $2 million of wage theft. Reclaimed that back for immigrants that were due their wages. And those people that are very active in the community, they have joy. Otherwise, they couldn't do that work, because that's what energizes us. That's what keeps us moving forward. Joy gets us out of our own. Okay, I have a very, very close friend in Wichita, Kansas, and he has asked me before, Tim, are you being shellfish? Shellfish. So it's obviously a play on words. Selfish, enclosed in on myself, like in a shell, like a shellfish. Totally self-absorbed shellfish. If we're being shellfish, we're robbing ourselves of joy. Being shellfish is not going to protect you. Being shellfish is going to take your joy, your strength, and your health from you. All right? Other things we can do. Prayer. We can always be in the moment. Be in the moment that you're in right now. So many of us are worrying about what's in the future or regretting the past instead of being right here, right now, being in this now moment. I notice that people who are joyful tend to be in the present moment. The heart card experience helps us to come into the present moment, helps us to find our joy as I think about it, June. Yeah. Being in touch with God, being childlike. Not necessarily childish, but childlike. Having a beginner's mind, enjoying life. You know, sometimes I'll be, every night and every morning, I'm outside looking at the night sky. I'm watching the stars. Every night, every morning. Which means I get up early. I mean, it's something that brings me joy. And sometimes I wonder, well, are the neighbors going to wonder? I don't care. Why do I care about what other people think about me? What I care about is doing that which helps me to come alive. Be committed to your joy. Be in the moment. In our culture, we're taught to worry about what other people think. We're taught, we got to worry about the future. We got to regret the past. How about being in this now moment? Remember, in the Hebrew scriptures and in the Christian scriptures, God is referred to as the I am. Not the I used to be or I will be. The I am. So when we affirm our I am presence, we're in the present moment. That also includes not taking ourselves and everything so seriously. Now that can be a challenge. How many people here watch the news? Okay. I watch the news. Some of you do not. That's fine. And I try to look at different sources anyway. So you might wonder, well, how can you not take things so serious when you see what all's going on in the world? Yes, there are serious things going on in the world. But, the way to change things in our world is not to take everything so seriously, like life and death, and ourselves. Some people have difficulty laughing at themselves. I always have something to laugh about because I live with me. There's so many funny things about me. Don't take yourself so seriously. Walking, embodying your spirituality, singing, kirtan on Tuesday nights in our Bhagavad Gita class. We have kirtan where we sing together, play music together, chanting, dancing. I love to dance. My wife is South American from Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. And so when we would go to South American dance parties, we'd dance till 4 a.m. The rest of the South Americans had given up, but we'd still be dancing. Part of the reason was I don't drink, and the rest of them, by that time, were filled with tequila. But anyway, we would dance till 4 a.m, And I was thinking about our associate minister, our administrator here, Reverend Johanna. You saw her singing earlier. I told her I was going to mention her. Yeah, you can go get her, because I'm going to brag on her. All right, are we going to wait for her? So anyway, Reverend Johanna told me, Reverend Tim, dancing helps me to come alive. And I'm all about people doing what helps them to come alive. So she's been taking these dancing classes. She learns dances through the studio. Here she is. Come on up here. Come on up here. So she takes classes and practices and works hard, but I think for you it's a joy. Yeah. It's a real joy to do this. And you told me that it brings life to you. It makes you come alive. So, sorry, you don't have a microphone, but I'll repeat whatever you say. So, all right. So this last 3 or 4 days, there was a competition at the Sheraton Waikiki, and Reverend Johanna was in 28 dances, placed first place in 23 of them, second place, 5 of them, and the group that she's in won first place. That's yay.
Thank you.
And that's what we believe, is doing what helps us to come alive. It doesn't, do that which really helps bring joy in your life. Thank you for being authentic. Thank you. Anything you want to say?
No.
All right. All right. So if you sometimes see her going to dance up here, just understand, right? Because we're about doing what helps us to come alive, doing that which helps to spread joy. The power of the month of September has been order. And I've talked about love. I've talked about putting God first. And I'm talking about joy. It's about putting those things in order so that we can really express the Christ essence that we are, so that we can really express the love of God where we are, so that we can really express the presence of God. So in everything in our life, we can bring about joy, no matter what we're experiencing. A few people were helping me yesterday as we were moving up into our place in Mililani. And I counted them. There's 16 steps going up there. It's like, oh, these are more than I thought. How many? 1, 2. It's 16, you know. But it was such joy to have these people, Thomas Gallagher and Bo Ernsberger and my friend David, different people who've been helping us to move. It's been a joyful experience. And I notice when we work together, there is a joy. And that's what the beloved community is about. Working together, creating joy. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. We're all here to work together. So when we engage in sacred service here, when we get involved in the spirit groups here, when we get involved in prayer and prayer ministry here, when we support from our finances, it's all bringing joy. It's about joy. If what you're doing in life is not bringing joy, you need some time of self-reflection and see what's wrong. It could be your attitude. It could be you need to change up what you're doing. But it's up to you. It's an inside job. So your homework, this assignment, is to make sure you have joy. Thank you. All right. I invite us to go into a time of meditation. This is to help us to center into this space. Silence is very important. Silence is a time of connecting with that inner resource, connecting with God. So I invite you to take some deep breaths. Breathe into your heart space. If it helps you to put your hand over your heart, breathe into that heart space. And I just encourage you to give gratitude, give thanks for all the good things going on in your life. Give gratitude, thanks for all that is going well. Give thanks for the presence of God being here, right now, as we go into the silence. We give thanks, God, knowing your presence here, knowing that your presence brings joy. We express this joy in our world and in our lives. We give thanks, and so it is. Amen.